shall continue with the final part of our story of the dead mother who cooks for her family. The dead mother who cooks for her family 8. The dead mother who cooks for her family 8. 8. That is part 8 and the last part. So relax. And let's dive right into it. If you have not yet watched the previous episode, please do so as we continue with the very final part of our story. The village did not sleep that night. No one dared. Every family gathered inside their homes with doors locked and oil lamps burning. Mothers held their children close. Fathers sat awake with machetes. Though deep inside they knew no blade could fight what was coming. Outside the village was silent, too silent. No cricket, no frogs, no dogs barking. It was as if every living creature fled before something unseen arrived. Only one sound remained, far across the village. Stir, stir, stir. The wooden spoon, still circling inside the pot, still preparing the last meal. Just before sunrise, Babakola called every elder in the old Iroko tree. The ancient parchment lay open before him. Mama Sade placed the carved wooden figure beside it. For hours they searched through the faded writing. Some words had disappeared with age, others were barely visible. Then Babakola suddenly stopped. His old hands trembled. I have found it. Everyone leaned closer. He read slowly. The promise shall end only when love speaks louder than guilt. Abdul frowned. What does that mean? The old man looked towards Mariam. It means the spirit is not holding your wife. It is holding her guilt. Abdul remembered the last days of Zainab's illness. Even as fever consumed her body, she kept trying to leave her bed. She worried about breakfast. She worried about dinner. She worried whether Mariam would be able to eat enough. She never worried about herself. She only worried about the family. Then he understood. She hadn't been afraid of dying. She had been afraid of leaving them hungry. That fear had become a prison. That evening, the entire village gathered outside Abdul's compound. No one crossed the gate. Only 4 people entered: Abdul, Mariam, Mama Sade, and Babakola. The sun disappeared behind the trees. Darkness slowly swallowed the village. Then the kitchen fire lit itself. Orange light spilled through the windows. The smell of food drifted into the night. But tonight it smelled different. Not rich, not comforting. The smell carried sadness, like food cooked by someone crying. Mariam sneezed Abdul's hand. Mariam squeezed Abdul's hand. Daddy, yes, she's inside. They stepped into the house. The hallway was darker than ever before. The walls looked older, cracked, blacked. The air felt heavy. Each breath seemed difficult. When they reached the kitchen doorway, they stopped. The room was no longer the kitchen Abdul remembered. The walls had stretched impossibly high. The ceiling disappeared into darkness. The charcoal Mariam saw her mother. She let go of Abdul's hand. No, Abdul reached for her, but Mariam was already walking forward. The shadow figure did not stop her. They parted silently, making a path straight to Zainab. The wooden spoon stopped moving. For the first time, the whispers became quiet. Mariam stood only a few steps away from her mother. Tears rolled down the little girl's face. Mama! Zainab slowly lifted her head. Her eyes filled with tears. She tried to smile. My beautiful girl. Her voice sounded weak, almost human again. Mariam took another step. You have been cooking for so long. Zainab nodded. I promise you don't have to anymore. The kitchen trembled. The black flame flickered violently. The shadows hissed. Zainab looked frightened. I have to. They are hungry. Mariam shook her head. No, Mama, we are not. Her small voice echoed through the room. Daddy learned to cook. A faint smile appeared on Abdul's face despite the tears. Mariam continued. Sometimes he burns the rice. Abdul let out a broken laugh. Mama Sadi smiled suddenly. But we still eat it. Another tear rolled down Mariam's cheek. We don't need perfect food. We just need you to rest. The room became completely silent. Even the whispers stopped. Mariam walked closer until she stood directly before her mother. Then she reached out and gently held Zainab's hand. It was cold, ice cold. You kept your promise, Mama. Her voice trembled. For 7 months, you fed us with your love. But now, she squeezed her mother's hand. I release you. You can stop. You can come home. For one long moment, nothing happened. Then the wooden spoon spilled from Zainab's hand. It struck the floor with a loud crack. The sound echoed through the room like thunder. The cooking pot shattered. Black liquid split across the floor. The shadow figures screamed together. A terrible sound filled the house. The ground shook violently. The black flames burst upwards. Then everything stopped. The shadow figure began disappearing one by one, like smoke carried away by the wind. The whispers faded. The crack in the floor slowly closed. The kitchen walls returned to normal. The black fire died. Only glowing charcoal remained. Zainab looked around in confusion. She seemed light, peaceful. She looked exactly at Abdul's. Abdul remembered her. The illness was gone. The sadness was gone. She smiled. The same gentle smile she had worn on the day they married. She looked at Abdul. I'm sorry. Abdul shook his head. No, I'm the one who should be sorry. I should have told you we would have been alright. Fresh tears rolled down Zainab's cheeks. I know. She turned towards Mariam. My brave little girl. Mariam hugged her. For one precious moment, mother and daughter held each other again. Then Zainab slowly began to glow. Soft golden light surrounded her. She kissed Mariam's forehead. Then she looked at Abdul one final time. Take care of our daughter. I will. And promise me something. Anything. When you cook. She smiled warmly. Don't burn the rice. Everyone laughed. Everyone threw their tears. Then the golden light grew brighter, and slowly, very slowly, Zainab disappeared, not into darkness, into peace. Mama Sade knelt beside the cold stove. She placed her hand on the earth. She hollow space beneath the earth was gone. Whatever had lived there had left. Baba Kola quietly picked up the old wooden spoon from the floor. It had split cleanly into two pieces. He nodded. It is finished. In the weeks that followed, the village slowly returned to normal. The strange smell disappeared. The crack in the earth closed. The animals no longer vanished. Children laughed in the street again. Months later, Abdul rebuilt the kitchen, not because he wanted to forget Zainab, but because he wanted to remember her the night, but because he wanted to remember her the right way. He learned to cook, just as Mariam had promised. Sometimes the soup was too salty, sometimes the yam was overcooked, and sometimes he burned the rice. Mariam always laughed. You will never cook like Mama. Abdul smiled. No, I will never. But she taught us something more important than cooking. What's that? Mariam asked. Abdul looked towards the evening sky. Love should never become a burden. If the people we love must carry us forever, they never get to rest. Years later, the elders still told the story of the house where the dead mother cooked at midnight, not to frighten children, but to remind them of the love, how powerful love is, and promises made in sorrow can carry unexpected weight. And some old villagers still say that on a very quiet evening, even someone in the village cooks for their neighbor who is hungry. A warm breeze passes gently through the kitchen, carrying the faint scent of onions and pepper, not as a warning, but as a blessing, as if somewhere beyond this world, a mother has finally found her peace, her peace, her peace. Thank you for listening to this story. What do you think about the entire story? Let me know in the comment section. I will as well be doing the compilation of the story very soon.